Chef Stefan Palskin, who we have right here with us, has opened 16 restaurants over the last 22 years, and he's author of very famous cookbooks, 4 of them. Most recently opened Samar, which was awarded the best new restaurant in 2009.
All right, am I on? All right. Well, let's see. Bienvenido. That is the extent of my Spanish, so I may lose some people here. Actually, bienvenido and gracias and adios, and that's it. All right, I'm a 5th generation Texan. Any Texans out there? No Texans. All right. Well, it's kind of odd, the food that I'm going to be doing tonight. Let me just kind of put it into context. Like I said, I'm a 5th generation Texan. I was born into a restaurant family. My family had a truck stop cafe. I've had, as the gentleman said, 23 restaurants. They've most all been Latin influenced. I spent a lot of time in South America, and I did a PBS show where we filmed in Mexico. So that's usually the kind of food that I do. I'm known as one of the creators of a regional cuisine in the United States called Southwestern cuisine. So we use lots of chilies, like you do down here. Lots of chilies and jicama and black beans and tomatillas and that sort of thing. So when I sold my restaurants back in the year 2000 and was able to take 5 years off, and I traveled the world, and so guess what ideas I had? I had, when I opened my new restaurant after taking some time off, Stephen Piles, it's Southwestern again, but 2 years ago I opened a new restaurant that was kind of the influence of my travels. And what I did was I wanted to do international small plates. And I thought, okay, I like Peruvian food. I spent a lot of time in Peru eating ceviche, working in cevicherias, but that didn't quite fit into the scheme of things. So what I did was take a line on the spice route, the Silk Road spice route. So we have 3 separate menus that are influenced from Spain, from the Eastern Mediterranean, so Turkey, Greece, Lebanon, and then India. So what I'm doing tonight is 3 separate items that sort of represent those areas. I want to start, first of all, with something that I picked up. This is the Spanish dish, and it's an inspiration from the Basque country. If you any Basque people out there from San Sebastian or Bilbao, it's a wonderful place to eat. Many 3-star Michelin restaurants there. So there was a restaurant called A Fuego Negro, and this was an inspiration. What I call this is tres vasos. So it's 3 little glasses that we're going to fill with 3 different things. So we're going to start with a little sun-dried tomato mousse. I'm going to start by just sautéing a little olive oil. We want to get nice and hot. I like to say we cook with all our senses, so you want to hear everything. You're going to just hear the shallot sizzling there. Get that nice and hot. Then add the garlic. Then I've got some sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to add those. Having trouble hearing me? That's good? All right. Then I've got some chili powder. We're going to use some chilies. I got to use chilies. A little cayenne and some chipotle powder. Chipotle chili. Chipotle, of course, the smoke-dried jalapeno. Then we're just going to add some cream. And that's just going to simmer for about 30 minutes, just like that. We're going to simmer that and just let it really cook away and get really nice and flavorful. All right? Then, after about 30 minutes, we're just going to put that in a blender, and we're going to puree it really smoothly, and then cool it a little bit, because we're going to make a flan. So we're going to cool it down and add some egg yolks, and it's going to look like this. It's the texture really thick. It looks like really thick tomato soup. So we're going to take our first vaso, and we're going to fill it. This is the smoked tomato flan. So we're going to fill it about a third of the way up. Then we're going to cover it with a little foil. And we're going to put it in a water bath, a bain-marie. Just water up to here. Cook it in an oven for about 30 minutes at 320 degrees Fahrenheit. And so each one of these vasos has 3 layers. So then we're going to have a little, we take tomatillas and some avocado. We take half the tomatillas and we puree that with half the avocado. We take one more avocado, chop that up, and blend it all together. So you've got a mixture here of an avocado mousse that's kind of chunky. So that's going to go on later. We'll put them all three together, but that's the second layer. So the next vaso is foie gras. Now, I got this little loaf of foie gras. Every time I think of foie gras, I think of, does anybody know who Julia Child is or was? Yeah, she was a mentor of mine. I got to work with her a lot. I met her in 1981, and we remained friends and worked together for the next, until she died in 2004, I think, or 5. I can't remember exactly. But I always remember she would come to my restaurants a lot, and one time she came, she was on her book tour. She was Baking with Julia series, and she was promoting her book, and she came, and of course, Land O'Lakes Butter was a sponsor. So she came to the restaurant, and she had lunch somewhere, and I said, "How was lunch, Julia?" And she said, "Well, not so good. It was all right, but it was all those nuts and berries." And I said, "Oh, well." She said, "What are you having tonight?" And I said, "Well, foie gras tamales with pineapple mole." And she goes, "Good, with lots of butter, I hope." So I've always taken my cue from Julia. Put a little butter on your foie gras. Okay, so this is the foie gras. I have just taken foie gras, lobe of foie gras, fresh foie gras, soaked it overnight, deveined it, soaked it overnight in milk. I'm going to add that straight to the blender. And I've got a mixture of garlic and onions and scallions, and I've deglazed with a little brandy and some cream. So I have that here, and I'm just going to add that right to the foie gras. And we're going to blend that, and that's going to be our mousse. All right, so this is our second vaso. So we're going to put the foie gras mousse. It's like a creme brulee almost. Put that a third of the way up as well. Now we're just going to let this sit. We're not going to cook it. We're going to actually just let it set up in the refrigerator. So Danielle, my trusty assistant, Rojita, right? From Texas as well. We're going to just let that set up. So we're going to go to our third tres vasos. And it is potatoes and all things pork. We've got some pork carnitas. That was easy to find, wasn't it, Edgar? It's easy to find pork carnitas in Zihuatanejo. I love that. So we've just taken a pork roast, about a 5-pound pork roast, seasoned it with a lot of salt, let that sit for about 30 minutes, and then sear it, and then mix it with all things wonderful, all kinds of chilies and garlic and a little red wine, or some beer actually. We do a little Mexican beer with it, and a little stock. You can add veal stock, chicken stock, and just braise it. Braise the hell out of it, as we say, forever braised. About 4 hours, real low, about 300 degrees. So that's our pork carnitas, and then we're going to do these potatoes. We've just got fingerling potatoes that we have peeled and cooked and just strained. Okay, so I've got some butter here, and I'm going to add that. I'm going to add some cream to that. So I've got cream and butter. Okay, I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to add some vanilla here. I've got a vanilla bean that is. We're going to just cut in half and scrape out the seeds. That's the pulp in here. Of course, you should be very proud that vanilla is indigenous to Mexico, to Veracruz. Papantla vanilla is wonderful. I was just in Tahiti at Christmas on a cruise ship, and they're awfully proud of their vanilla as well, but I had to remind them that it originated here. All right, so we're going to get that vanilla all kind of blended up in there. And then that's just going to go right into the potatoes that have been cooked. That's looking good. Season now with a little salt, of course. Let's get a little more. A little more. Oh yeah. And then we're going to finish it off with just a touch of honey. And I'm big on the use of local honey because it's great for your allergies. We have In Dallas, we have something called Texas Honeybee Gill that's produced right there. So there are our potatoes. So this is our third tres vaso. So this we're going to put some potatoes on the bottom with the vanilla. So those go right in the bottom. Now any of these would be good, you know, by themselves, but as they say, wretched excess is barely enough. So we've got the potatoes there. We've got some carnitas. So I think we're, oh yeah, I've got to do the apples. So then we're jumping around here. Stay with me. This is all still tres vasos though. So we're going to just do some figs and some apples. The apples are going to go with the pork. Pork is nice with apples. Figs are nice with foie gras. So we're going to add just a little butter to the pan, of course. A little butter to both pans, I think. So we're going to do the foie gras, the figs, and the apples at the same time here. A little more butter. Do you have more butter? Oh, don't do that. So a little butter. We're gonna cook the apples in one and the figs in the other. All right, both we're gonna add some sugar. There we go. So we're gonna start really kind of two caramelizations here. This one is the apples. We're just gonna add some apples to that. And with the apples, I'm gonna deglaze with both on both pans here. Oops. I'm going to let the apples get nice and caramelized. And then once this melts, I'm going to add a little sugar and add the figs. Good, fresh, black mission figs right now. So let those get a little caramelized. And then we're going to add a little brandy. Is brandy? Yeah. So, you know, we love pyrotechnics, so, you know, get the fire going. My mother accused me of being a pyromaniac as a kid because I love to start fires. So chef's a good job for that, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to add some sugar and my figs. And with this one, we're actually going to deglaze with a Spanish, beautiful Spanish sherry, Pedro Jimenez. Do you know Pedro Jimenez? This wonderful sweet sherry that is beautiful, actually, with foie gras. So we're going to caramelize those figs nicely. The apples are pretty much done here. We'll take those off. You don't want to cook the figs too much, so just a little. Add the Pedro Jimenez. All right. All right, so now we're going to assemble the last thing. So we've got foie gras, figs, and a little crisp jamon serrano. You know jamon serrano? You have that here.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful Spanish ham. So we're going to top the foie gras with that. Oh, that's set up nice. Is that the foie gras? Wow, that was quick. Good. We did good. All right. So we'll start with the I want to start with the carnitas. Okay, so we have our potatoes. These are our vanilla potatoes, right? And I'm going to add just some of the carnitas to that. So this is our pork carnitas going right on top. Actually, you could do the apples first and the carnitas on top, either one. And then let's get the limonera ready. So these are our apples. Right on top of the... Does this have the limonera? Is that the one? I forget. The thing is, we change these tres vasos all the time. They can be. It's a beautiful way to do a variety of things, as you can imagine. So this one is actually going to have a little... Let's show them what we're doing. We've got lemon juice here, a little lemon zest, soy lecithin, which Guillermo used earlier. It's just a compound from animal fat that gives it a little froth. Just kind of makes it, it's an emulsifier, and we use it to just make a little air or a little froth. All right. So let me do that one last. So I'm gonna add now to my foie gras mousse, right? Foie gras. We're gonna add the caramelized figs. Caramelized figs, and then I've just cooked some jamon serrano. Right, here we go. We're gonna just garnish with that right on top. Some nice long pieces. Okay. And my plate. All right, now, so this is done except for the lemon air. Okay, my sun-dried tomato vaso is going to be topped with the avocado mousse, and then on top of that, we're going to add some shrimp. I've just got some local shrimp here that I've cut up, and I'm going to tempura those. I'm just going to put them in a little tempura batter and cook them. 3 or 4 per order. There we go. All right. So while that's cooking, we're going to add our avocado mousse to the sun-dried tomato flan. Avocado mousse right on top. All right. All right. All right, there we go. So, oh, those look pretty good actually. All right. All right. There we go. So that's going to go right on top of the avocado mousse. Now the shrimp actually were marinated. They're really flavorful. They were marinated in orange juice. We reduced orange juice, made it really nice and strong. Orange juice, chipotle chilies. You can put a little garlic in there. You marinate it for about an hour, then you fry them. All right? So the last thing is our little lemon air. And that's going to go on top of the pork. It's just a nice, it adds a nice acidity, actually, to the sweetness of the apple, the vanilla with the potatoes. I'm going to put that right on top. It's like a little foam or a little air. So that's our tres vasos. So we have the sun-dried tomato, the vanilla potatoes with carnitas, and another one. Foie gras, best of all. So that's tres vasos. Good? Lots of flavor. Lots of flavor going on. All right, so we talked about the Middle Eastern influence. So we're going to go there. We're going to go from Spain into Turkey and Lebanon. And we're going to do a dish, actually, when I was building Samar, we opened